actually get out of here in less than 10 minutes if we're all focused.
He says that every time.
I know.
It's
It's
never.
a goal.
The
It's a
graphs
goal.
need to take at least 10 minutes.
Okay, so can we say our goal is to get out of here by 11:15,
Yes.
and those of you who are on the team need to have your t-shirts and like a hat or something, because apparently we have to have a photo taken. Because
Do we have to have a hat?
11:15.
according to Patty and Ross, yes.
I
Do
don't
we
have
have
a
to
hat.
have a t-shirt?
Mostly Patty.
I have ears, I'll do ears.
We'll just have you like push your hair up like this. I don't have a hat either.
Can I pull it with my
11:15?
hammer?
Huh?
Yes, you
11:15.
may.
11:15.
So add 20 to that.
You know what, since you're my team lead.
All right, let's move on. How many in the room have social media? Have posted to social media? 1, 2, 3. So if you're on the team, you had to post a social media video. And some of you are excelling at this. You're doing really, really well. Some of you are failing at this at a high level.
So, is it true that Facebook will no longer show your pictures?
That is not a question for me to answer.
Facebook shows
We're
my
favoring
pictures.
videos over photos, but it really depends on how much engagement you get within the first few
So we got-
minutes on how often
Yes,
it's shown on the timeline.
Yeah, I was like, really doing this. I know, right? So who in the room did not post a social media video in the last 7 days? 1,
Video.
2,
Never posted a
3,
video.
4.
I posted a post.
Yeah, I know, too.
Everybody,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Here's why.
I posted a
People will
picture of my
engage with
face.
you when they can get your personality out of a video. Okay, they're more apt to like you and follow you and talk to you than just a photo.
How about a photo of your face?
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry.
You know.
Nearsighted.
All right, so can we do something over the holidays? Can we maybe do a video that just says, hey, you know, from my family to all of you out there, friends, clients, past clients, we wish you a safe, prosperous holiday season and an awesome, rewarding new year. Like, can you just put something out there?
Yes.
And I'm gonna say something like I'm gunning for all of you guys who are hiding behind Facebook, and I expect to buy, sell, or have you invest in real estate in 2019. Okay, so lead gen calls. How many of you are recording your lead gen calls? 1.
recording.
Recording your lead gen calls. So for those of you who had been recording your lead gen calls and meeting with me on a 411 and letting me listen to that audio, we've had some awesome coaching around that. For those of you who aren't doing it, I think I'm gonna take it off here from now on. There's value there. So if you don't record them and bring them to me so that I can sit and listen to the calls and help you overcome that, then there's not a lot I can do or say. So first week, first month, first quarter, new year, your 411 as an agent licensee is with me. Second, third, fourth week, first month, for the rest of the year, it is with your team leader and Brandon. Okay, so if you're on the sales team, it's going to be with your blue team leader or your red team leader and Brandon. If you're an ISA, it's going to be with Arsenio
When's that
and
start?
Brandon.
Next month?
Yeah, so I'll always do the first one of the month, because you and I want to get clear with you. We want to talk about your goals. Are you hitting them? What you can do? But then the next 3.5 weeks are just about you eventually getting that done, staying on track, okay? And then a Brandon or an Arsenio, they can help you with that, okay? Obviously, if you've got a one-on-one and you need me personally, you can always go to Ross Schedule and meet with me. All right, so let's hear real quick from John and Connor. I know we talked about this morning our numbers, but where are we going with all of this, and what are some of the obstacles? Because I think my perception looking in is we've kind of notched up a little, but I think we should be, you guys should be kind of a roaring group at this point. And I don't believe that we're there. And I know the issues at hand are the holidays and sick, and we've asked some people to maybe step out of the team until they get done what they have committed to do, and I understand all that. But you know what? Leadership is never simple and easy. It's never.
It's like real estate.
And if we get complacent as leaders, it is a quick trickle down to, well, that's the way that they expect it to be done. Our value doesn't come by what we preach, teach, and hold people accountable to. Our value comes to when they have the successes, they look back and go, wow, I have the successes because I was held accountable. I had the successes because that plan was laid out and I was my biggest issue. Okay? So I don't expect you to have like these major milestones. I just expect you as leaders of your teams to be kind of overcoming those objections on a daily basis, helping people understand their reality. For instance, we had a lot of people sick. And the one thing that I told Brandon is I said, you know what, I get it. And not to suppress people actually being ill, that's an objection. That's an affirmation. I'm sick and so I didn't do anything today. Well, yeah, I had dental surgery and I was out for 2 days and I got so much work done. What did we do? Or what are we doing in times that we lose control? So if we're sick and we're in bed, is that a day to put data into a database? Is that a day to stalk people on Facebook and transfer the information? As leaders, we can help our team uncover that and make sure that every day is still purposeful.
Real estate's not a desk job, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle, I love that, yeah, we should get shirts made that say that. Alright, so, Connor.
I think a couple weeks ago, we said something about asking for permission to hold accountable.
Mhm.
I haven't done that yet, but I need to, for the fact that I think asking the permission will engage everybody else in the communication part.
So why are you not asking permission?
I don't have an answer for you. I have not, but today I plan on asking for permission so I can get a deeper level of why we're not communicating.
Why are you waiting?
Can I have your permission?
First of all, who's on Connor's team? Raise your hand, or your antler, one of the two.
And then I believe Patricia is gonna be on my team as well, from
Okay.
how I understand it.
Okay. So, if you're on Connor's team, raise your hand. And Connor, I'm sorry, what did you want to address with your team?
Can I have your permission to hold you accountable?
Yes.
And what does that look like? And now I don't want your answer, but I want the answers, I want the answers from the agents on the team. What does it sound like when Connor says, can I have your permission to hold you accountable? Go ahead, both of
This
you.
is very serious, I mean, it's like he's giving us, we
Go
are.
get that sub.
You know, it's a very serious thing, he's asking for our permission.
What does that mean to you,
It
Bettina?
means it's a commitment that I'm giving him, that I am serious when I give him a date or time. It's not just playing around, it's a serious commitment.
So do we get in our own way? Yeah, of course we
make
do.
excuses, yeah.
Of course
But
we
if he
do.
continuously asks, and, we take it as that he's looking out for us.
And
And he's.
by
holding
him
us-
saying, do I have your permission to hold you accountable? He's saying, I'm going to call BS, I'm going to call truth on everything that you say and do, because Bettina, you've given me the right to help you be successful.
Right, so we have to.
Now, trust me, make no mistake, it is a lot easier said than done. And we're salespeople, so we're masters of disguise. We're really good at saying, yes, you can hold me accountable, just don't open up this door. Just don't call me tomorrow between 8 and noon. I won't be there Wednesday afternoon, and I'll tell you why on Thursday. Like, we're masters of that. And you're gonna give him permission to go knocking on your door, to call you up, to walk into the office. Say, hey, 35 contacts, 2 appointments set. Bettina, how can I help you hit that today? Because you and I aren't leaving until it's done. What was it, a couple weeks ago, something was happening on an agent on the team, and I said, I hope you get your Bold 100 done, because I'm not leaving until you do. And that was the escrow. Oh, okay, and we got an escrow, right? Because I went home, so I'm assuming we got an escrow. Okay, so I mean, as a leader, are you in it with them at that level? Because we all know what we have to do. We all know, we just don't want to do it. If real estate was really easy, like this room would be filled with $2 million producers, especially in a time when people are getting out of the business. So I want you to understand, when he asks your permission to hold you accountable, what does that look like? It just doesn't mean, how you doing on your contacts? F the contacts. I want to see escrows. I've never had a contact pay my bills, ever. I've never once had a contact pay my bill.
Hold that.
Put on a shirt.
So if you're all in on contacts, new year, fire them all. Because a contact should turn into a nurture. A nurture should turn into an appointment. An appointment should turn into a contract. Now you're running your business. Now you're running your business. But some of you get it. Some of you wake up and you're like, dude, I've got like $1,000 in my bank account, and if I don't change something today, I'm gonna have $898 tomorrow, and $600 the next day, and $300 the day after that. And I got Christmas in a week from today. Sometimes that flame does things to people. So how do we have that flame all day, every day, knowing that it's not that reactionary ickiness of life threatening us and holding us accountable, but us holding each other accountable? And that's where I want you and John at. Because the biggest gift that you're gonna have in your position is by going to somebody saying, can I hold you accountable? And them saying, absolutely. And by you holding me accountable, I'm also gonna hold you accountable. Like, that's the gift. That is the true gift of our team. When somebody says, yes, it's reciprocating. Because I already know what everybody wants to do for 2019. And I have translated that to everybody who is leadership at both of our
It's
offices.
11 o'clock.
And it's 11 o'clock. And do you know that we hit we fly past every other team ALC number by almost 200. I walked into the ALC as the laughing stock. Of course. Bring it on, people. And when I got up and I explained to everybody why we are going to hit 300 closed units, I said, because I'm going to net 25 full-time licensed agents on my team with a minimum of 1 transaction per month. Minimum, standard. And so if you take 25 times 12, what is that?
300.
300. 300. And I don't think there's anybody on my team that's less than 15. So that's like 1.1 transactions a month. So yeah, by you holding your team accountable, and by you holding your team accountable, and by them reciprocating and holding you accountable, and saying, yes, I want you on my ass, because I need to hit my numbers, and life gets in the way, and I'm questioning my ability, and I'm questioning the market, and I'm questioning Craig, and I'm questioning Keller Williams. Agents are happy when they're making money. They are miserable SOBs when they're broke. I get it. So it's our job as leadership to walk the walk and pull people in when they're not hitting something, because it's always them or me. Always. So when you ask that question, I want that level of consciousness. Because it's a gift. And you might get somebody that says no. It's earned. Leadership is earned. It's not a right.
It's you fighting people's thermostats too.
Constantly.
Because everybody knows, and I like this example because I relate to it. Have you ever woken up really early and had like a lot of time to like get ready for whatever you were going to do, and you end up using all of the time? That extra hour that you woke up, you still end up leaving at the same time that you left, you usually leave at. Whereas sometimes you'll wake up 15 minutes before you have to be there, and somehow you get everything done in 15 minutes because you're being reactionary rather than being proactive about it. Because when people get into a grind time, when they say, hey, either I do this or I'm out, like if I either get paid in the next month or I lose, I also won't have a place to live. It's unbelievable the things that they'll get done in a month to make sure that happens. Whereas if they say, hey, you know what, I'm good for 3 months, I'm just gonna let off the pedal a little bit. You know what I mean?
And for all the rest of you, I want to use an example. So Connor came to me less than 3 weeks ago and said, my buyers are interested in buying a house and they're leaving the country on the 14th, and so they want to wait until after the holidays. And all I heard was, my buyers are ready to buy a house today. That's all I heard. And I said, great, do they have a house that they like? Yeah, they like 2 of them. Great, we're gonna put an offer in both of them, we're gonna close on her before the 13th. Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. We've got a buyer who wants to buy a home. We just have to find a lender, we have to find an escrow company that can perform in that time frame. And I'm sorry, did they buy a home within the time frame?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there were still complications.
Yeah.
So all work performs to the time allowed. You wake up and you say, oh, I woke up at 4:30 in the morning and I don't have to be at work until 8. You're not gonna go to work until 8. If you say, well, I need to close 15 transactions in 2019, trust me, it's gonna be fourth quarter, November, and then you're up against a mountain. No, you all have to close one transaction a month. One transaction a month, otherwise you've lost in your business, the team fired you, you fired the team, we didn't deliver on our laurels. And that's the conversation. So as a team captain, what can I do to bridge the gap so that everybody on my team opens one escrow a month? Minimum. You're gonna have agents that say, no, I gotta do 3. Great. What can I do to bridge the gap so that you open 3 escrows a month? Okay? Because we as leadership fail when our team doesn't hit the numbers that they're holding us accountable to hit. And we are against a shift in 2019. So make no mistake, the pressure is intense and there's a wall that's bigger than us. And we have got to keep pushing that wall or break it down, one of the two.
Is there permission to call BS too?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the awesome part about what we do. Yeah, we get to call BS. And understand it might be something you do in private. Sure. Because we all have it. I mean, I'm a master at myself. I mean, I can manipulate myself and get myself to do things or get myself not to do things and justify why and all kinds of shit. So now ask the question again and understand what you're truly asking.
Blue team, do I have your permission to hold you accountable?
Yes.
And I want you to hear it from every single one of them.
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Now the rest of us all heard that, right?
Yes.
And is it okay if you hold the blue team accountable, including their leader? Is it okay? Okay? So is it okay, blue team and leader, that the rest of the team, in addition to you, also holds you accountable?
Yes.
Okay, so now, John, it's your turn. First of all, tell me how your team's doing and all that good stuff.
Team's doing good. A lot of us have been on vacation and or sick the past couple weeks. We just need to keep pushing forward. I think the people that are in business are doing great.
Is that your opinion or is that factual and can we measure that?
I would say that we can measure it. I'd say Sharon is definitely, when she's in business, she definitely gets the stuff done. Diane as well.
Okay.
So definitely.
So I'm gonna stop you real quick. What was your 2018 goals? I don't have your formal one in front of me.
36 close?
For 2018.
Oh, sorry, for 2000,
Because I know you came in and so like give me, what did it break down for month?
I was supposed to close 4 this month.
Okay, and you're closing?
What?
1.
Okay, so be very careful what you say and how you say it, because do you believe that you're successful in real estate?
I feel like I'm not putting enough time into it right now.
Okay,
Because
so
of-
don't congratulate somebody on something that they don't deserve, and it's not, I mean,
No,
she
I know,
understands,
I
like,
know.
this isn't negative.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't deserve acknowledgement and accolades when we haven't earned them.
Okay.
So I feel like the team's doing great now. Like on a
Everybody's
scale
goals
of
are
1 to
different.
5, 5 being you're killing it out of the park, what do you rate yourself?
Right now?
Yeah, just,
Like a 2.
okay. So as a leader, you say, you know what? We understand where our deficits are and what we need to do to increase that. And my team range between a 0 and a 3, and I'm just trying to get them to a 4, trying to get them to a 5.
Okay.
Or my intention is to get them to a 5. Yeah.
I think John's intention's good, he just different language choice.
Now, I get it, and if a brand new agent hits the team, let's take Diane as the example, gets her license, hits the team, takes a listing, puts 2 buyers under contract in 3 weeks, who are we to say that she's awesome? That could be her standard, that could be her norm.
Right.
It's our job to say, 3, what did you expect to do? Well, I expect you to do 1, great, so let's see if you can do 3 next month. Because we might need to raise your financial thermostat, your potential might be higher than you believe it is.
So
And that's our job as leaders.
So you congratulate and then say,
say, awesome, good job, you hit your goal, you hit your commitment, 2 claps, good job, Diane. And let's do the same thing next month, and the month after, and the month after, and the month after. And if we see, that you are north of your goals, we're gonna adjust your goals, because that's the right thing to do. Unless she says, no, I've got something coming up and I'm working real hard and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But that's a coaching conversation. So, okay, so reframe what you said, put it in the true contacts, and then continue on again.
So, we have, room to improve,
Okay?
and I'm excited to have everyone hold each other accountable, to hitting those goals.
Okay? And ask your team if it's okay publicly to hold them accountable.
Okay, red team, I'd like your permission to.
Raise your hand. Okay? You got some strong personalities on your team. It's like, I look at this I'm looking at this through rose-colored glasses. Like, you got some strong personalities here. So I would encourage I'm just saying, like, I believe that it was slightly weighted. And maybe you're supposed to have these people on your team, because I think the biggest gift to you is that these people can hold you accountable. So I'm just saying, wow, I saw a little intensity there when they raised their hands.
What was it? Arsenio, Nate, Sharon, who else?
Brian.
Yeah, you got some people that, like, John, if you got your click going, Connor and his people, like, they have to hustle at a higher level than the people you have on your team, because you have people on your team that have experience, education, they've got closings underneath them, like, they just have to get real. Some of the other people, like, have to work twice as hard. It's like my sister and I. I was always really good in school, even though I never put any energy into it. I failed out of class because I didn't show up. I didn't put any time in. My sister had to hustle every day, get a tutor, like, work really hard, and she's got the college degree. And that's kind of what I'm looking at between the blue team and the red team. You've got the hustlers and you've got the scholars. So who's getting in whose way? So ask them the question.
Red team, can we get real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can we hold each other accountable, including holding me accountable?
100%.
Yep,
Right.
absolutely.
So get really clear on what their monthly goal is
Okay.
and hold them to that goal.
Okay.
So Ross, send out to the team owners. In fact, send out to everybody. Everyone's 135. And does Ross now have everybody's 135? He had a couple of people where it was like unlegible or whatever.
should rewrite mine.
Okay, so can we get that done today? Can we just get with Ross, give him your 135, and then can you send out to the entire team, everyone's 135?
So everyone can read it?
Yep, and because
Okay,
you got everybody's name there, and everybody can see everybody's stuff, so nobody can call BS. Is that cool? And for the rest of the team, can we hold you and your team accountable? Good. To your 135?
Yes.
Good.
And John, I think another really good thing for your team as well is, maybe not talking goal-oriented conversation, but I think the most magical thing is people on the team that are putting the work in are seeing results quickly. Like, everybody on your team that's put in the work, they're getting results quickly, like very quickly. So,
Okay.
just coach that.
Yeah, so our job as leaders, understand people's vision. Where do they want to go? Why do they want to go there? And then it is coach their mindset, okay? And then hold them accountable to the activities. Like, that's what we should be doing every single day when we talk to our people. Hey, let's not forget, foreclosed transactions a month, Sharon. What are you doing? How can I help you? What's one thing I can do to get you there? Okay, 15 protocol, 1 minute protocol. We've got 7 days left of the month. How can I help you? Great, awesome. What's getting in the way, Sharon? I don't know why I'm picking on you today. I think it's Anna. What's getting in the way? What's happening? Oh, you're ill. Okay. Oh, you gotta go out of town. Okay, awesome. Oh, you did the Baja 1000. Awesome. Great. So how can I and the team leverage so that we can still hit your numbers while you're gone? And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna call your database on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're gonna send you a text message that says, you know, what they want, how they want it. Patty's gonna get involved. Like, just coach through that. Okay? All right, awesome. So, moving on. The appointment set and held weekly winner is Diane. Diane, obviously. 2 claps for Diane. Good job. So Diane has held 3 appointments, and she had set 5 appointments. So that's awesome for her. And Diane has been licensed 2 weeks. Yeah. So like, that's her standard. She's not deviating from it. We had an awesome 411, so I'm excited for her. So now, pull out your graphs. Let's go through these at rocket pace, but I want you guys to understand what's happening. And actually, it's good. Last month at this time, we were looking at a little doom and gloom. Now, not so much. So median price has gone down.
I'll get the shirt.
I think it was
Papers are right
3.8
over
last month. So we got down a little bit. So now we're at negative 3.9. So for those of you not on the team, if we go all the way back to the same month in 2007, this was like the height right before we started really declining. You can see a little bit of seasonality shift, so we're going to come out of January, February, March, but unfortunately we did a shift, and this was the recession. This was the Great Recession. So what we're seeing right now is this big bell curve, and for the last couple months we've been kind of watching it. We're going to dive in a little bit more, but it's gone down. It has gone up just a little bit. Okay, it has gone down 1.1 point. Not that big of a deal. We're really just keeping an eye on it. Here it is. So this is that block.
We went up.
We went up like literally,
$1,000.
yeah, $1,000.
That's good though, at least we're treading water.
Yeah, so we got really worried here for a while, that we were going down, because it went down $2,000. We just wanna watch it, just kinda wanna see what's happening with our market. Right now, we have what's called a triple threat. So we have Las Vegas seasonality shift, the holidays. Our market slows down during the holidays. Then we have a market correction where we were #1 in foreclosures, then we skyrocket, we become the #1 closed volume in the country. We beat out Seattle 3 months ago. So now that's correcting, and it's correcting because we had low inventory, so people kind of put their foot off the gas. And then you have a market shift. So you've got something that is across the country kind of shifting. Because everything's happening at once, we don't really know what it means for us locally in Las Vegas. So we're just gonna keep an eye on it. Available listings, so we continue to have increased listings. So last month we went from 6,754 listings on the market to now 7,019. So we increase our listings.
It's really odd that our average median price is still.
Yeah, so what does this mean? So let's talk about this for 2 seconds. Our median price in 2018 is roughly 270, what do we say, 278,000, 275,000? And so pretty stagnant for the last 3 months. In 2017, what are we also seeing?
Literally the same trajectory.
Yeah, just at, $130,000 low. So I'm not so worried about our price, because historically, over the last 4 years, we can see the same thing happen. What I am worried about is our units sold. Less homes closing, less money overall for realtors. That breeds negative opinions of the market. Agents are gonna get out of the market. Now, we went up in October. We actually went up. And then we went back down by roughly 5,000 units. 28 to 34, yeah. Okay? So keep an eye on that. I'm not concerned personally because it is the shift in our market for seasonality, so I'm not concerned, but let's keep an eye on that. And then obviously units sold, this is where I'm concerned. This is why I think we are in a market shift. Because If you look at 2017, which is blue, steady decline for the winter, not that big of a deal. But in 2018, we are seeing sporadic decline,
So
lower than 2017,
a neutral market, correct, is if there's 3 months of inventory.
4 plus.
4 plus months
Yeah,
of inventory.
yeah,
Got it.
we're still less than 4 months. And what does it mean when you have so it's called attrition. What does it mean when you have 4 months worth of inventory? What does that mean? If you read the script that I sent you through WhatsApp this morning, I gave you the answers.
That means that no homes hit the market.
We'd be out of.
25% of our homes on the market sell. So if we had 4,000 homes on the market and we're selling 25% of them month over month, how many homes a month are we selling? 1,000, which means that how many thousands are still left on the market? Okay, so when you're taking listings and you're trying to price or do a price adjustment, the conversation is, hey, we have 4 months worth of inventory, and that means that if we never put another house on the market, in 4 months, we would sell all the homes on the market in that price point. But since on average we sell 25%, 75% overpriced, no access are gonna stay on the market, 25% are gonna sell. Do you wanna be the 25%, do you wanna be the 75%? Because if the market crashes and nobody does anything, all of these homes will sell. Because then it'll be supply and demand. But here's what's happening. We have roughly 3.5 months of supply, or 3.2 months of supply. We do have inventory going up, and it has gone up 56% since January. Some people will tell you 70%, I think they're including condos and townhomes. So inventory is rising. When inventory rises, demand decreases. Absolutely. When demand increases, inventory lowers. So we know inventory is going up. And because inventory is going up, demand is going down. So now you're going from a what market? Sellers to a Vegas never has stayed in a neutral market historically. Ever, ever, ever.
Most
Since
markets
they-
don't.
Most markets don't. There are, if you're from where Connor's from, yeah, they stay in a neutral market, decades at a
It's
time.
always a neutral market.
Yeah. We typically go from a strong seller's market to a neutral market for a split second, and then we go into a buyer's market, okay? So right now, we are seeing units sold, inventory's going up, closing's going down, we're gonna go into a buyer's market. What does it mean when we're in a buyer's market? Who's in control?
Buyers.
What are they doing?
Buying.
They're sitting. Yeah, they're like, we're gonna look at this one, we're gonna look at that one, we're gonna give you a low ball offer, we don't care if you take it. And what does that mean for listing agents?
They have to get creative.
It takes 3, 6, 9 months to get paid. So when you're taking listings and you're pricing them right, you want to be in the 25 percentile, not the 75 percentile. Okay? Ben Kinney said at the mastermind 2 weeks ago in Phoenix, he said, in a shift, it's not about taking listings. In a shift, it's about profitability by doing the right thing. So mindset has changed. I'm no longer gonna take the listing because it's a listing, whether it's overpriced or not, I'm gonna get another buyer. That carrying cost could break you. It's about taking the listing because you have a seller who's willing to work with you. You have a seller who's willing to show the property, a seller who's willing to adjust the price. It's in a good neighborhood. You've got buyers who would be interested because your days on market are low in that neighborhood. It's about taking the listing for the right reasons, okay? We are in 15th protocol, and we are in 1 minute protocol. The only thing that matters for us right now is lead genning and setting appointments. That's it. Find the time in your calendar, find the time in your schedule. It's all about lead genning. It's about lead genning past clientele, repeats, referrals, sphere of influence. It's about lead genning just Mets. It's about lead genning not Mets. Everybody should be going out every single day, everywhere in public with a name tag on it, especially during the holidays. Wouldn't the greatest gift be to buy or sell a home? I'd love to help your family. People have family in town right now, and the conversation before and after Christmas is, Morty, we should move closer to the kids. You know, we're retired and the grandkids are everything to us. And they're gonna go out the day after Christmas because they're tired of eating whatever it is you eat, and they're gonna go look at homes. Where are you? Where are you?
Driving in front of it.
Okay? So just be aware of that. So we're at 15th protocol. I don't have really anything to add. I understand that whether I want you to or not, most of you are physically here and mentally you're gone. I know that. I'm no different. Like, I'm thinking, what am I gonna serve with this big freaking pig that I just paid $300 for? And how am I gonna get the rest of the Christmas shopping done when my husband is so far up my yin-yang, I can't buy something without him going, why are you buying this? And me blowing up in Target going, you know what? Let's go home. I can't do anything without you, like, checking everything. So I get it.
That would be funny.
Some of you are like, how do I make an extra $100? How do I make an extra $500? How do I just get a little bit more money in my pocket to get me through the next week? I'm with you. I'm your partner. I'm supporting you.
Drive Uber Eats.
What can I do to help you through that? Okay? Because come hell or high fury, 2019, I'm gunning for it. I'm gunning for that 300 closed transactions. I want it. I want you to have it because my 300 is less than your goals. You guys are at 356, I think it is, collectively. And I won't settle for less than the 300. So what do we have to do as a team? What do we have to do as a partnership to hit that? How can I take everything we did this year, because this year was all about this. Like, we learned at a high level. We got complacent on the activities because we really focused on vision and mindset. Like, how many believe that that was our 2018? We spent a lot of time re-engineering, trying one thing, figuring out what worked, what didn't. Like, we wasted a lot of time this year. And I don't mean that in the negative sense, but I mean that in the literal sense. Like, I put a lot of money into certain things and certain people with the expectation of a return, and when we didn't hit the return, we made business changes. So we were doing this. We were going through institutional knowledge. Because we knew we were in a shift, we knew we had to do things differently. So let's just figure all that out now, while it's still relatively good. But make no mistake now, there's nothing past here. Like, this is it. We might reiterate, hey, you know, what did we do to, you know, plug into our business 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day? But we can't, like, we know these. You all know this. You got your 135 done. You know your vision. You know why you're in real estate. You know why you're on the team. You've all had meetings with me and talked to me about the things you love and the things you hate and what you expect differently. Like, we're here at activities now. It's all about the activities. So let's get really clear on that. Brandon, you're up. And by the way, you're like 10 minutes over. So let's do this quick rant.
I'll make it quick then. So, lead gen till the end of the year. That's all I got to say. And let's get 10 new escrows. That's it. That's all I got to say.
So make it a smart comment. So
10
specific.
escrows in 13 days. 14 days.
I mean, how many in the room, by show of hands, believe that we're the top producing team in this office. We're one of the 5 top producing teams in our market. Like, yeah, we're like having obstacles, you know, closing 10 deals, but everybody else is like 1, 2. So do we have what it takes to close 10 escrows in a week and a half? Do we have it?
Yeah.
So how many in the room believe we can actually open 10 escrows in the next week and a half? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, raise your hand. There you go, yeah, Donna, Hudson, whoever you are, Connor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have a 25% override.
Yep.
So that means 5 of you can lie,
Yeah.
and the rest of us will still hit it. Okay? Yeah, John.
I would like to door knock the neighborhood that Diane and I took a listening because I think it's a gold mine. Would like to work with me on that.
What are
I have
you
little
doing?
experience door knocking.
How about your team? Ask your team.
When do
Yes.
you wanna go?
Um,
We can talk about this after, but I can work on it with you.
tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, the weekend.
Okay, let's meet and talk.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Database, Patty. Everybody say hi, Patty.
Hi,
Patty.
My favorite computer.
Can you hear us, Patty? Oh, yes, we're good. We can hear you.
Okay, so we've been receiving leads through social media. Please get in touch with those leads. Probably you won't find a phone number, but please send them an email. If you don't have the app, Gravity app, please download that app. It will help you to, if you're shopping or doing anything, you can get in contact with your lead if you're receiving new leads. And calendars, I didn't receive a lot of calendars this week, so please move your calendars.
And they're like, how do I get into Vulcan? How do I get into Core Realty? All right, thanks, Patty.
Thanks, Patty.
Arsenio, you're up.
I'm gonna piggyback on what she just said. If you guys actually do need a phone number, we do have a system now that actually will allow us to kind of do like a little search on people, so we can get phone numbers, email addresses, old addresses, all the other good stuff. Pre-licensing, you three ladies, wanna say thank you for coming back. It actually shows us that you really wanna be here, and that's one of the very first steps you need, especially becoming a successful real estate agent. Bettina, Patricia, or Patty, good job on your thing with Connor, by the way. And that's pretty much it. Let's make some phone calls and scale it.
Okay, Ross, you're up.
Nothing really different. Can you go to the next slide? So right now, I was working with the old director of operations to make a team Tiffy Snapchat, and for some of you that don't use Snapchat, this is the username and password for this, and this is the filter. So when you go to host an open house, you take a picture of the outside of like the house, and you can save the picture. You can post it to all of your social media, and if you go to the next slide, it'll show like the Team Tiffy logo and it'll say open house, and it's just a quick advertisement for you.
Oh, we actually have our own filter for Snapchat? That's cool.
So you can go ahead and do that, and you'll have like an instant like open house advertisement. You can just shoot it out to all your social media.
Is that, so can we get the filter anywhere, or do we have to be doing an open house? Because I think if we could just put that filter
The
over
Team Tiffy
a
filter?
little video, like a quick
Yeah, of
video.
course. If you go back, so this is the username and password. If you don't have a Snapchat that you make from your own, that you advertise like your leads and stuff like that, this is the Snapchat that you'd be logging into, and then you scan this. This is the filter, and that's where you would be able to do that.
Did you just realize that? Gray hair, she's got a lot of gray hair there.
Is the name case sensitive?
That's wrong. Is the name case
Probably.
sensitive?
username?
Most likely, just.
No.
No, it's not?
The password is though.
You'll email this to the team?
Yeah, there's also a picture of it up in the agent's office.
Okay, so our goal for month of December is still 30, and right now we're at 3.
You just need a
so-
0.
Yeah, right. I know. So our active listings, you went in and got all these? Are these
Yeah,
accurate?
these are the new
Okay.
ones.
So we have 5 active listings currently on the market. We have 2 that are under contract. And then so far this month, we have 10 referrals that have been sent out. It looks like we're trending close to 30% referrals from
I'm sending one out today.
2018. 30% of our business this year was in the form of referrals. Like, that's awesome. That's really, really awesome. So congratulations, everybody. Any questions?
Did you, put my listing under contract?
I don't know that it's under contract yet, cause I gotta go in and move it. I haven't seen a fully executed RPA yet, but I have not been in the loop yet. I'm doing it with Patty this afternoon. So it'll reflect for the first meeting of the new year.
Is Alex still our sign guy?
So let's talk about the white elephant in the room. So most of you guys know, last week on Wednesday, I let Amelia go. The reasons were very difficult, and it came down to our job as leadership is to look out for our agents 100%. Our agent's job is to look out for their client 100%. We had a situation where we took an agreement to close an escrow in a time frame, and I pay and empower Amelia to managed the process. And her job was to reach out to escrow and say, hey, you know, we gotta close on her before the 13th. Her job's to reach out to the lender and say, hey, our job's to close on her before the 13th. And there were two things that were not problems, like they were fixable. One of them was the CD had not gone out yet for the buyer. And the other issue was that the escrow company did not order the demand within 10 days of closing, or outside of 10 days of closing. And so I saw an email come across that said, please extend escrow, close of escrow till tomorrow. And I said, whoa, we don't just close deals when other people want us to close deals. We close deals based on what our client wants and what we said we were gonna do. And when I questioned, and can I be just transparent?
Yes.
When I questioned Connor and Amelia, the reason I was giving is we didn't wanna bother you, no, like, it wasn't we. I didn't wanna bother you. And so I said, okay, so you don't wanna bother me. First of all, disturbing and bother, two different things. Craig's in a meeting, his phone's his phone's on mute, you call 4 times and you can see that I'm in a meeting on my calendar, that's disturbing. Bother is, Craig, I've got a situation, can you call, text, or email me as soon as you get a chance, it's urgent. I can make the decision. I can be like, oh crap, what's going on? Hey, can I step away? Bother, disturb. We didn't want to bother you. And I said, okay, so because you didn't want to bother Craig, you're risking your buyer not closing on time. You're risking your buyer's relationship with the person that referred them. And when a contract doesn't close on time, or when a party is in a voidable scenario on a contract, isn't it in theory safe to say that the other party now has control? So when you say you didn't want to bother me, and I'm just gonna get real, the opportunity for Connor to have his money before Christmas became very risky. And I said, I'm sorry, but my client is Connor, and I pay you to look out for Connor's best interest, and by doing that, Connor is allowed to look at his client's best interest. So I felt like things were hidden from me. And so I said, if we don't close this transaction by Friday, you're not going to have a job. Not because I don't wanna let you go, and not because I wanna let you go over the holidays and single mom. Like, trust me, I spent all night thinking about, is this the right decision? Is it not the right decision? Is it dramatic, you know? No, we were able to fix certain things at the time. And guess what? We still didn't close the deal on Thursday. And so therefore she was let go. Because the one thing nobody can take away from me is my word. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. You may not like why I do things, but at the end of the day, like Gary Keller and his talks today, I make decisions on your behalf, and they're not always great decisions. And I don't always just throw on the surface all the drama and all the BS. But at the end of the day, when I tell you you're my client, you're my client. So, from this point on, bothering me and disturbing me, you understand the difference. Yes, I have the same rights that you do to have a meeting, to learn, and to be better, and to lead you at in a different direction. I have the right to be ill. I have the right to have family time from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. You're right, I have the same rights as you do. And if you've got an emergency or you need me now, you have the right to get me now. And I just hope that everybody understands, like, I know he's busy and I need him now. Like, make no mistake, I'll step out. I'll look at Gary Keller and say, you know what? I got a text message, I'm looking at the contents. Gary, is it okay if I take 5 minutes? Like, I know you're $40,000 an hour and you're not my client, I'm yours, and I have the same thing happening in my team. Okay? Now the good news out of all of this is I was managing the transaction from the back end. I did see the email come across and we were able to fix the problem. And the clients were accommodating. Okay? And that's why it happened. And so I struggled with letting somebody go over the holidays. And so I went ahead and I gave them a severance package in lieu. Okay? So that's the white elephant. So right now, Patty is stepping up as our Director of Operations-ish. She doesn't have the title, but she's looking at all of our operations. She's working with Ross. Brandon and Connor and myself and Arsenio are meeting on Thursday to kind of look at that position and see if A, it needs to be filled immediately, and if it doesn't, what do we need in that position for first quarter of 2019 if we choose to put a body in that position. And so leadership's gonna kind of get around the table on Thursday. We're gonna talk about what all that looks like, and we'll come back to you the first team meeting of January and kind of let you know our findings. Any questions on that? Yes?
Is Alex still our sign guy?
No, so Alex is not our sign guy, and Ross has all the signs. And so between Ross and Arsenio at this time, if you have an open house that's scheduled for this weekend, it'll be done by one of them. And if you're interested in making some side money, and they are not available to do it, then just get with Ross and just say, hey, if you ever need some signs put out, I'm willing to do that, and Ross will coordinate between him and Arsenio.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions? Does anybody have anything for me? Questions, comments, derogatory remarks?
What was MASH B?
So MASH B, so think of EXP. EXP has this avatar virtual environment where the avatar walks into a room. So MASH B is real, think FaceTime with 500 people, 20,000 people in the room. And so you can have, like I can have a team meeting with all of you, and you are all on your computer with your own camera, and the software will allow me to have a conversation with all of you. You can all see each other, you can all interact with me, camera's here, I'm going through stuff, and we could have Michigan either participate like they're in the room, or they can observe. I can have all of you be part of the team meeting without even being in the office.
Johnny conference call.
It's a big interactive conference call, and then in my space, I could have monitors, depending on how much I want to spend on technology. And I can have a room full of monitors, and I can have the monitors divided up with, think Hollywood Squares, where I could have 10 of you in one monitor, I could have one of you in one monitor, and I could either automate the system, or I could have somebody controlling it. And as people are talking, they come to the forefront, and it's almost like changing the pitch of the cameras. Yeah, it's $5,000 for the system. And then you buy the technology to the extent that you want. So he's doing,
in the hologram.
yeah, and we're real. We're not some avatar where we walk in, you know.
And it's like on an island or something.
Yep. Any questions?
Right.
So for those of you, yeah, go ahead.
When do the new people get a chance to have a one-on-one with you?
So he's going to meet with you now,
Okay.
and then he's going to schedule, if you're not on the team, he's gonna schedule you with Ross and I based on my calendar, and it could be as early as this afternoon, or it could be tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay?
Thank you.
Anybody else? Questions? So let's give 2 claps for the people that did come in and listen to us today. Awesome. And for those of you who did come in, let's give 2 claps for yourself. Thank you for your time, I appreciate it. Is this class still on or has it been canceled?
I think it's canceled because I went up to Jordan and she said that she hasn't gotten anything
Okay,
on
so
that.
let's reschedule it for January.
Specific
Okay?
date.
Resolutions, this is just resolutions
you guys are supposed to.
for tomorrow.
Why is it canceled?
We don't have anybody on RSVP.
Oh,
Craig doesn't do classes unless the room's filled.
of course.
Yeah, so we're just gonna reschedule it for January, that's all. So for you guys, you'll just let everybody know, hey, we're gonna have this class in January. Are we doing Dying for Dollars Thursday night?
I just gotta find out for sponsor.
Okay, so sponsor people, we'll do it. No sponsor, no people, we won't do it.
Okay.
Okay. And then, how many of you turned in your bold slips to Shirley? Needs to be done today, because I think it's already coming past.
I turned mine into Amelia.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, so go to Ross,
Okay.
let's try to find them. If not, go to Shirley and
Okay.
let her, with Ross,
Okay.
let her know that, hey, we turned them into Amelia, Craig said to come to you,
Okay.
you'll be fine.
Also,
Okay.
I want to get a little bit of clarity on BBAs. If we have a BBA in place.
That is correct, that counts.
Okay.
9 months is what the contract says, they never really get us a hard time. So for those of you who want to have kids, no, that's gift wrapping.
Want to have kids, just.
Gingerbread thing is Wednesday here. You're welcome to bring your kids in, unless you want to do the gingerbread yourself. I'm thinking it's more of a kid thing, but go for it. That's Wednesday here, 5 o'clock.
Oh, why are they?
Calendar.
You have to RSVP though, because they only need enough.
Yeah, they only make enough of the people. That's it.
Alright.
I'm
Like
sorry
I
I
said,
went 30 minutes over.
25 minutes over like I said it would be.
Thank you, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'm here tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. So if I see you, I see you.
Guys, photo.
Oh, Ross, you need to take a photo, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right now?
I got ears, I got props.
Get your shirt on. Yes, you
Can I
can.
borrow one of those shirts?
Put it on the
Yeah.
with the jacket.
Yeah, they're in the box over there.
No,
In my office.
So you'll have to get them.
Ross,
You'll have
for the bowl thing, can I just forward you what I sent Amelia and you can figure it out? Awesome, thank you.
I don't even look a lot.
For
So mine was a chamber.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, just forward it.
Tracy, what time
You know what I mean? And in fact, okay, so we're like, this is on the outside? Yes. You need to just, you just need to guide everybody.
Okay, that's it. Tree in the lobby.
Going to the tree in the lobby.
Guys, tree in the lobby for the photo.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh, tree.
The big, yes.
Okay, sounds good. I'll text you. Patty.
What are we doing?
We're going to the tree. The bathroom. By the lobby where the bathrooms are. Big one.
Yes, Patty.
I don't have a hat.
Probably.
Okay, we got props.
I think he wants us outside,
Here's a
Joey.
hat for you.
On my projector, there's a hat.
Alright, we're following you.
Right.
Alright, so we're traveling.
Wait, am I going to
We're
put?
traveling?
I have to put a shirt on like this?
Where's this hat?
Why?
On my computer.
They have until 1 o'clock. And you probably should use the lunchroom, Larry.
Through.
So I would be able to Larry.
Use the room till one, is it?
Yes.
Use the room till one?
I believe so. Ross. Maybe walk out.
We'll be right back.
Will you be right back?
Get behind somebody.
That's fine. You know where it's at?
So you guys are new agents?
Yeah, I did it in Fort Lauderdale and I'm trying to get it here, so we just moved here, like he was saying, to be closer to our son. So when he said that, I was like, that is true. So yeah, it's, we own restaurants, husband done it for 39 years, and so it's the same kind of concept. I love it, it's people concept, and just wanna see how it works out here, you know how it goes?
So you're licensed now?
No, not here.
Not yet?
No.
You?
Not yet, no.
Not yet?
I want to be, I just wanna get into the real estate business and go into different departments to it as well.
Well, for me, my whole goal, my 5-year goal is to be a broker, win black, to be a broker and invest.
Yeah.
Oh, be a broker and invest?
Invest.
Well, you don't have to be a broker to invest.
Oh, of course.
I'll take that right there.
You say you don't have to be a broker to invest, I know.
That was the first thing I did before I got my license.
Yeah, investments, we're doing stuff on it, and flipping properties we're doing too, so. I just wanna do is, here.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this much, if you flip.
Yeah, you might, I might do the two plus.
We just won't show up.
I mean, it took me 4 times, so. I saw one
yeah,
time,
there's,
I saw like in the crash course, like, classroom.
My car has so much junk.
There was this one dude, he had wrote, like, everybody wrote on the wall, like, yes, thanks.
Oh, yeah, I seen
Mr.
it in
Teacher,
the
yeah.
video.
So, one of them, it said, it took me 22.
So, I was looking at my text messages.
Now I'm not saying.
I'll let you know,
that's 22
yeah,
right now I only have one.
We never
open.
talked
You'll
about
pass with
the
the
other
evidence
client
that-
who, wanted to read
How
their
long- how
property
long-
and,
And I'll-
update it and all that.
Oh, 'cause I'll be